And we're back!
What a great deal.
Wasn't that a great pre-show, guys?
That was awesome. That was a second and a half pre-show.
Hey, I often take only a second and a half to pre, so it's fine.
Sometimes that's a whole show. You don't know. Sometimes you just don't know.
I have no idea. I often get confused about what's happening to me and what's coming out of my... hello, everybody.
See, wait, hold on a sec. You were on push to talk, and so you said coming out of my... And then it just stopped.
Oh, that was purposeful. Yeah. I bet.
Yeah. All right.
I totally didn't do that on purpose. No way. But hello, everyone watching. Welcome to the LBS. This is not the Lagging Balls podcast. The Lagging Balls podcast is about Blizzard games, and it is audio only. This is the LBS, the Lagging Balls stream, or the Lagging Bullshit, whatever you would like to call it. And we just talk about random shit on Fridays because we like to hang out with you guys, because we love you and are completely attracted to every single one of you. And that's not because we have low standards, it's because we have very high standards.
That's right. We only settle for the best. Speaking of the best, Pat Crane, welcome to the show.
You only settle for the best.
Yeah.
That's why I gave it the air quotes. We settle
up.
We settle
up.
It's like
wow,
it's like the opposite of negging. What's the opposite of negging? Pausing?
I guess
Nugging?
So everybody, welcome to episode 52 of the Lagging Balls stream. This is called PAT-O-WEEN.
By the way, I heard it was No Nug November. No nugging.
Don't empty your nugs, Pat.
No
Taryn's
nugs.
got 3 balls tonight, so
Whoa.
that's a lot of nugs to empty. But you must not empty them in No Nug November. Because
no nug.
no nug. Don't tug on your nugs. Don't empty
Wow.
your nugs. Don't even think about it, because it's No Nut November, and we don't touch on that or any of the surrounding areas of the nuts. I'm really sick, but we're here. We're queer.
Wait, hold on a sec. So I just want to, I kind of want to dive into this a little bit. So you were extremely sick, like more than a week ago.
Yes.
Now, it was like, what was it? Tuesday?
Yes.
Last week, Tuesday?
Yeah, I was still in California when I got sick.
Oh.
And I didn't go into the hospital because I knew I had the flu. And so I called the doctor, and the doctor said, "You've got the flu. I'm going to prescribe you Tamiflu, and you'll just take that for 5 days and you'll be fine." And I said, "Great." So I did that, and I took Mucinex and everything, and it has not gone away, and it just keeps getting worse. So I'm going to go to the doctor probably tomorrow. But I've also started a new job this week, and it's been just like... I don't know what kind of first impression I've been making, but it's just like I've got mucus coming out of my eyes, my nose, my mouth. Like I'm coughing. I don't have like a voice.
That's no good.
No, and I've just been like really like brain foggy and slow, and like I look gross and I don't have any energy to like look nice. And yesterday I got like wicked windburn on my cheeks, so that's another thing that's gross. And I just like, it's been one hell of a week, Patrick.
Well, I have a feeling you're making a much better impression than you think, and I think going to the doctor is definitely the right call, especially after being sick for this long, so I'm glad you're doing it. But I'm sad that you have to do that instead of going to the NYXL pop-up with me, because I'm doing that with some people tomorrow in New York. So if you happen to be in the New York area, in New York City itself, or in Brooklyn in particular, the New York Excelsior will be having their pop-up shop that they're just reopening. The first weekend will be this weekend. I will be there tomorrow.
That's awesome. By the way, now that I'm out on the West Coast, now that I'm over in the Sacramento side of things, I almost went to the California, what was it? The San Francisco versus LA deal for Overwatch, and so they had one down in LA, and now they had one in San Francisco as well on the 20th, and I almost went.
Why didn't you go?
because it's like 2.5 hours away, and it's kind of a haul. And...
Oh my god. So like, are you like? What's
actually, that's on the.
now?
Is that on the 20th? I think that might be on the 20th. Now that I'm looking at things, so if that's the case, maybe.
You still for Florida or?
No, it was on the 10th. Sorry. What's that?
What's your team like? Have you switched teams now that you've moved out there?
Well, I never was for Florida. I mean, it's Ronald McDonald colors. How can you?
What do you? I don't know. Cause like I'm back on the fuel train, hardcore this year. Like woo woo, burn blue, baby.
Aw, Sick Fist saying that is so cute.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, but I'm excited for esports.
Yeah. Well, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's exciting.
I can hardly wait until Overwatch season begins again.
Yes. And I'm super glad it's on Valentine's Day because that's gonna like beef up Valentine's Day. It's gonna be like legitness. Like I don't need to sit around sobbing and eating chocolate. I can just watch Overwatch League and feel real good. Feel real good.
So before Overwatch League, sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, eating chocolate, and then during Overwatch League, totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, totally fine.
Making sure I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something, but now I forget. Cause but yeah. So No Nut November. Like, do we? What's the origin of that? Like, and why? Like, what do you think would? Like, is that a good thing?
So the first time that I heard this was, I think, BlizzCon this year. Seriously, I've heard No Shave November. I've heard Nano Write More or whatever the hell it is. November, where people are where people are supposed to write.
Right.
You know?
Let's give the background here. According to Urban Dictionary, No Nut November. This is the month where you cannot ejaculate or bust a nut under any circumstances. You have to go 30 days with 0 nuts. This event determines the willpower and strength of the human male's mind and body combined. The rules are as follows. You cannot have sex, masturbate, or nut in any way, shape, or form. Watching pornography and having boners are allowed, but you can't nut. You are allowed only one wet dream.
Only one?
That's so stupid.
If you have more than one, then consider yourself out.
But you don't have any control over that, do you?
No, you don't.
I'm gonna pull a Seinfeld and I'm just gonna say, I'm out! I'm out!
You do not have 3 strikes. You only get 1 shot at it. If you miss it, you're out.
I don't even care.
If you have passed the month with a total of 0 nuts, you're the victor and you shall qualify for Destroy Dick December. Not recommended. That's actually, the words not recommended is actually in the Urban Dictionary message. Look, man, just don't nut in 30 days. That's the last rule.
Well, if it has to go, it has to go, I guess.
I mean, it would have to go at some point, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Okay, so I have questions. Like, so females aren't part of this. Like, this isn't a thing that we're doing too, right?
Hold on a second. So do you have nuts?
Well, no, but like,
right. So then you're clear. You're clear.
So because
especially considering the repercussions are all about the D, you don't have to worry about that either. So okay, now I have more questions. So like, nutting is different than nuts, but it's probably called nutting because of nuts, right? But like, yeah.
So what do I call it?
Well, yeah, because let's look at the Know Your Meme definition is a no-fap month in which participants attempt to abstain from masturbation for the entire month of November. That is not male-specific other than the name No Nut.
Okay.
All right.
Taryn, you ever fill a water balloon until it exploded? Is that okay? That's another question. What happens when you don't nut, like ever? Do you explode?
The answer to that is a wet dream. That's why it was interesting that that's a part of one of the definitions, because the wet dream is physiologically the body's way to clear things out if you're not doing it yourself, manually,
Okay.
as it were.
And it's not called squirting. That's something different. It's just like the natural.
That guys
No
don't do
equivalent.
that, as far as I know.
Yeah. You would probably know, but I don't know. Like, would it be like tunneling? Maybe. Reverse spelunking. Go water sliding. I
like it.
I'm just spitballing here.
Spitballing,
Maybe
another
it's
good name.
spitballing.
No,
Maybe
because I
it's-
don't
maybe
have
it is.
balls. That'd be the same as like spit
It'd be
nutting, you know?
Techie
Sure.
Taco, you do not have proof of me being a squirter. Do not post that to YouTube. I'm changing the password.
Squirt, squirt. Okay.
What would we call a lagging balls themed No Nut November?
What do you mean?
Why can't it be? Why can't it be all nut November?
Yeah, let's make it
Really?
all ball November.
I saw
Right.
an alternative called 900 Nut November.
Yes, that's a freaking lot.
That would be a
That's
fun challenge.
that's difficult.
I think, like, if you were gonna fucking, like, 900 it, you would have to, really stock up on a lot of lube because, like, the friction burn, like, that's what I'm concerned about.
Oh yeah.
And also, if you nut too much, then what happens? Do you, like, shrivel up? Like, what, like, do you pop? Or do you shrivel? Like, are those the two, like, extreme... Pat?
Oh, I'm supposed to answer
You
this?
just throw a pat on
I
this
don't
one.
know how to answer this. What are you talking about?
Wait.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
No Zug November.
No Zug November.
Call it zugging? Just
yeah.
pecking on your zugging?
That's what that's what I call it. But you know, that's just me. Mm.
I think you just start shooting blanks, you know, because
I think it's the same as so when the best joke that I've ever heard was, I can't remember who said it, but it was somebody in their older age, and they said it's just dust. You know, it's just dust.
How's it go, Fitz?
It's like, did you ever see Jackass when they put baby powder in their butt cheeks and then fart on people?
Sorry, I missed that one.
It'd be like that probably.
I missed that one, but that sounds hilarious.
It was. When I was a teenager, it's still funny.
No, it's still
Yeah. That'd be weird. Instead of like a wet consistency, it would just turn to like the consistency of like talc or something. Or it would be like, you know, when your dog is like peed so much during the walk, but they're insisting on peeing on everything anyway, so they just kind of lift their leg and nothing happens.
It's like
Like a really dry cough. Oh my God, Terrence.
shooting cobwebs.
Maybe I got a dick like a haunted mansion.
Hey, that's in keeping with the PAT-O-WEEN theme.
Yes, it is.
Pat, I'm so glad you're here for this discussion.
Yeah, me too.
I am so glad I'm here too, guys. I can't tell you. It's been forever since it feels like forever since I've been on a part of the stream, and you know, it might be forever until I return. I mean, you know, that's kind of.
You're not coming back now?
No, I'll come back. You know me. You ask, I'll be here. It's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anything I want, Pat Crane does. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Pat, what's up? And he's like, I'm busy. I can't talk to you right now. I'm like,
as
cool,
long as I
talk
have a little
later.
bourbon in the
Oh, you're drunk. Okay, well, I'm.
No, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. I have drunk.
I like the ice cube. Very nice. Fancy.
Yeah. You gotta have the
The ball.
the ball for
Woo!
lighting balls, right?
Yes.
So gotta
Thank
have.
you. I appreciate
you're
that.
welcome.
That's great.
Further down the Know Your Meme for No Nut November, there is an image of a Twitter account talking about it by a Twitter account called What's Poppin' Jimbo.
Hey, what's poppin', Jimbo?
What's Poppin'
What's
Jimbo?
poppin'?
Not
Yeah.
Jimbo, because it's No Nut November. So he posts day 2 of No Nut November. When going to pee, I have refrained from even touching my penile region. I just pull my pants down and look away.
Wow.
Can you do that, or like, do you?
On day 2? On day 2, he's doing that.
Hey, he's being careful, all right?
On day 2, though?
He knows his body.
Day 2, you should be okay. Seriously, on day 2, if you are not touching your peep
His
because
name
of all this...
is What's Poppin' Jimbo.
I suppose, if he's popping
If
all the
the
time.
answer is that Jimbo is What's Poppin', then
Yeah.
Jimbo may need to take a hands-off approach to this
Alright,
one.
I'll give it to you, Thorn.
Do you have to touch your junk every time you pee?
You don't have
It
to,
helps.
but you definitely want to aim.
Yeah.
Man, that seems like
It's either you touch it or there might be some cleanup.
Sure.
You
That just
know?
seems like a whole world of hassle to me. That sucks for you guys.
Well,
Yeah, even if we were to sit down, we'd still have to aim down.
Yeah, you just put it right in.
Unless you're a hanger, I guess.
What does that
Right.
mean?
What do you think it means?
I literally don't know. Usually I don't know.
If you sit down at the toilet and you're
if
fishing,
you're a hanger, then you would be a hanging.
What?
if your dick
Exactly.
is flopping downward into the water, Fist.
Oh, so it's so long that it touches the water.
Well,
and you
see,
get a
that's
nip-
there's two different things there going on there. There's length and then there's direction. You may be a hanger, but not be.
I think Terrence got it right. Do you have to touch the gas pump to fill up your car? Yeah. A little bit.
In New Jersey, the law is people do it for you.
Oh. See, now that would be a great law to have. Why don't we have that law in California?
Just like
Every time I pee, I have to have somebody come and touch it for me.
Ah, thank you,
Full service.
Maxwell.
Full service peeing.
I'm sorry, this. What'd you say?
Nothing. But he'd have to warm up his hands beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be nice, and he'd use velvet gloves, and he'd be just sort of picking it up. plopping
And
it in.
there goes No Nut November.
There you go.
There
Right.
it goes. Just right out the window. Done.
What's poppin',
I'm
Jimbo?
out. Yeah.
Nutting out the window.
Yep.
What's poppin', Jimbo? Nutting out the window.
You think if it was really, really cold, it would turn to ice real fast? When people blow bubbles outside in freezing cold weather and they freeze? You got a dick icicle?
Hey, you're from
Dixicle?
Canada. You should know the answer to this.
I don't
Right.
have the equipment.
You don't have practical experience.
I have
No.
experience with very cold weather.
Where is Cousin
But-
Mike when we need him?
That's true. I do have male cousins in Canada who could probably tell me this.
Who you
But-
probably don't want to hear this from.
know-
This, do you dab? I dab. Do you dab? Dab. Do you dab? But that would be science, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Science.
What's that show with the guys who test theories?
They
Shoe
test these
Diaries?
theories. What?
Pat, did you ever watch Red Shoe Diaries?
No, I watched The Man with One Red Shoe, which was a horrible Tom Hanks movie.
Is that really a movie with Tom?
Oh
Hanks
yeah,
in it?
yeah. It's The Man with One Red Shoe, and Tom Hanks is. It's kind of like he's a mistaken spy.
No, I'm
It's-
talking about no.
It's fairly
no,
funny.
No, Red Shoe Diaries with
No.
David Duchovny. It was
Mm-mm.
the most accessible softcore pornography on television when I was a kid. It was on Showcase or something, and it
Mhm.
came on at 11:30 midnight kind of thing. And it was just super softcore. Nothing really good happened or anything like that.
Right.
But
It's just like boobs.
exactly. And
Yeah.
when you're a little kid, or not a little kid, but an older kid.
Like
You don't
6 or
discriminate.
7 or what?
No, 10
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
You don't discriminate, because it's just whoa, I shouldn't
Yeah.
be watching this, but I'm totally watching it. Whoa.
I had a satellite dish when we moved to Wisconsin. My parents moved to Wisconsin in the middle of my 7th grade year, middle of my 7th grade year. And then they got shortly thereafter, it was like way out in the boonies, so they got a satellite dish. And I don't mean like dish TV, like, you know, those little ones that people have these days. I'm talking about a full-on gigantic, like as big as your wall.
Big, like 5-foot diameter satellite dish.
Yeah.
Bouncing off the fucking moon.
Where in Wisconsin were you?
Toma, Wisconsin. It was right by Fort McCoy was in Wisconsin.
All right, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it was middle west of the state.
Middle West. All right.
Nearest bigger city is La Crosse.
You know, it's just, you know, being from Minnesota, I respond to people that have lived in the Midwest and even Canada.
Here, this is easy for you. If you were taking what goes from, does 94 go to the Twin Cities?
Sure. Yes. Of course it does.
94, you would take that down, and right where it meets up with 90, that's right where that town is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right.
This conversation got significantly less
I'm
sexy.
sorry. It got less sexy. I'm sorry.
If Highway 94 was a hangar, that's the direction you'd be going.
Right, there you go. Now we're back on track.
I'm about to no nut all November because of you guys.
Sorry.
So if LB was the one running November, I think we would call it Nutbusters.
Yeah, Nutbuster November.
You're not a good one. 1 sec.
One's not bad.
I totally watched Red Shoe Diaries just hoping for a boobie.
Well, yeah.
And then I'd get lucky because there were definitely boobies on that show.
I'm trying to remember what the titles of the pornos were when I was growing up, and there was like Nanette, I think was a thing, and then there was like the Debbie Does series.
Yeah.
Things. I didn't, you know, I wasn't really. I mean, I was. Everybody was 12 at one point, but I don't think that I really, you know.
Totally.
I didn't get into them, but it was always very interesting.
I love those like false disclaimers you put on everything.
Hey, you know.
Yeah, we all know you're lying. It's okay. Like when I was a kid, after my dad moved out, he left all his porn in my house, and I found it. It was all on VHS, and some of it was
Jesus.
like taped off of like some porno channel or something. But then there were these like actual like go into a porn shop and buy like the actual porn, and it was all from the 80s. I remember one called like Breast Wishes or something like that.
Wow.
That's
See,
amazing.
I remember like when I was a kid, like one of our neighbor kids had a dad who was into like Playboy and stuff like that, and so that was kind of like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Let's go to his house to look at the Playboys.
That's right.
I totally did that. One time, me and my friend Martha were chilling at my public school, like on a weekend, so nobody was around. And there's this tree, and it was like one tree, but it was like split into 2 trunks. And somebody had like wedged some like porno magazines between the trunks, and they were wrapped in like plastic because they hadn't been opened yet, and it had rained, so it was like, what's going on? So we cracked open a cold one. It was like this fresh porno, and ever since then we call that the porn tree because, you know, it bared fruit, and, you know, we got to pass it around and show all of our friends.
You found a bunch of porn in the crotch of a tree.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
Zato says Benny Hill was awesome. Benny Hill was awesome.
Benny Hill the porner.
The show, just in general.
Is that like the Benny Hill theme, or is it called Yakety Sax, or is it called both?
So it's Yakety Sax is the song, but it was used for the Benny Hill Open. Well, and for a lot of the chase scenes, they always had like him chasing the old man, chasing the I don't know, all the women on the show because they were all leches. So you know.
That's hot. I like when Yakety Sax is applied to pretty much any video.
Oh yeah.
It has to be sped up. That's the only thing.
Just a little.
Yeah.
There's this one, I think it's still on YouTube. It's like shrimp running on a treadmill to Yakety Sax or something like that. And it's literally just this. Yeah, it's just this little shrimp running on a treadmill underwater. I don't know.
That's amazing. All right. I have a game for us.
Ooh.
I'm going to read you the title of a Red Shoe Diaries episode, and I want you to guess what it's about.
Okay.
All right.
This one is called From 1992. Season 1, Episode 6. Another Woman's Lipstick.
Another woman's lipstick?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
What is this episode about? Another Woman's Lipstick.
Maybe maybe somebody finds some lipstick, but it's not theirs.
Okay. Okay. That's
She's
pretty
reaching.
general.
I mean, it's a reach.
That's a reach. So here's my take on it. A lucky fella is gonna receive something,
What?
and
A package?
yet maybe we'll see.
All right.
Is going to receive something until his partner discovers lipstick where it should not be.
Oh!
Like Drew says in chat, could be on the butthole.
No, not the
That's
butthole.
where
I
it
was
might
thinking
be.
on the other side of it, but same deal.
If you put like lipstick around your butthole and then sat down on a piece of paper, would it look like a kiss?
With a little chocolate on it.
Oh, Pat, come on. Now you've taken things too far.
Okay.
I did. I did.
All right.
I did.
Here's the next one.
Yeah.
Season 1, Episode 2 in 1992.
Was I right?
Does it matter? Does the actual story
No.
matter? No.
No.
Zoe's husband is having another woman's with lipstick. Zoe's husband is having an affair. Following him watching, she's compelled to find out more about the other woman, so she disguises herself as a man and has an affair with the beauty as well, only to realize she loves her husband and always will.
That's
Yeah, right.
That's a much more complete story.
And it went in the direction I didn't expect, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Go Red
Yeah,
Shoe.
It really did.
Really did.
Quality
Yeah.
programming right there, Red Shoe Diaries.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one.
Right. It's kind of like the Hallmark Channel, but for porn.
Exactly.
All right. So as long as we got that going,
We got that.
Okay.
now I know where we're going with these things. Go
Season
ahead.
1, Episode 2 of Red Shoe Diaries is entitled Double Dare.
Ooh. So a group of sexy teenagers are having a sleepover and they're playing Truth or Dare, and one person's like, I double dare you to shit all over the floor. And they do.
See, now I would think it would be like a Tenacious D double team type of situation,
Double
but
Team Supreme?
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Supreme.
Now we're talking.
that's right.
Okay. Neither of you are right, but
Okay.
points for creativity.
I'm not right.
I don't know how, but the synopsis is a woman can't help but notice an attractive man in an office building next to hers.
And then shits all over the floor, which is really crazy.
That's actually
got
the
that
rest of
part
it.
right.
They notice dudes.
Yeah, so half points because the rest of that is correct. So
Right.
Yes. Love to shit all over the floor.
no, the actual rest of it is eventually he starts sending her erotic faxes, and she replies.
Does he
Oh,
put lipstick on his
faxes.
butthole and then take like a photocopy of his butt? And then it looks like a weird like butt
Chocolate
with
kiss.
lips?
Wait. What?
Is that why kisses are shaped that way?
Yeah, because they come from the butt.
Let me take you to the Hershey factory, baby.
We're gonna rename this episode. It's now called "Kisses Come from the Butt."
That's in Pennsylvania, I believe.
Pennsylvania. Home of the vampires.
Okay, this one is entitled "Weekend Pass."
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me do this one first because I think I've got it.
Meanwhile, Beetlejuice in chat is still laughing about the faxes part from the last one. He's calling it sex-axing. Sex-axing.
That's pretty good. All right, so Weekend Pass is where a workaholic arrives at Friday and says, "Screw it, guys, I'm working through the weekend."
Ooh.
Weekend Pass. I pass on the weekend.
Weekend Pass.
Snap.
I think it's about.
That's hot porn right there. Work
hot
porn.
I want a hot porn.
Soft porn.
Hot soft porn.
Oh, hot.
That's an old song, wasn't it? An old standard. Hot soft porn. Hot
No.
soft
I think
porn.
that was hot crossed. I think that was hot crossed buns.
Yeah.
You're thinking of. And by the way,
I'm liking what I'm
hot
hearing.
crossed buns when they that's also a chocolate kiss situation. So,
Ooh. Hot cross buns.
What do you think it is?
I think
Weekend Pass.
Weekend Pass. So a young, sexy couple decide to go to Paramount Canada's Wonderland in Toronto for the weekend, and what they discover is that Paramount characters such as Fred Flintstone are actually insanely sexy in person, and there's this giant like mascot orgy at Paramount Canada's Wonderland in Toronto.
And you know who wins?
Oh,
Bam Bam.
Hey!
Bam
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Are you cheating? Because that's literally the description of this one.
really?
No.
Wow.
Weekend Pass, Season 1, Episode 11 from 1992. Weekend Pass. Chandler and her friends opt for a night... Chenandra Bong. Chandler and her friends opt for a night of abandon at the local bar. After a barroom brawl, she comes into wondrous contact with a beautiful drifter, Eddie, and the two embrace their Christmas Eve together.
I don't know. Can you have a beautiful drifter? I guess you can, but I mean, Brad Pitt was kind of that in what was
Thelma
that?
and Louise?
That's the one. You know,
Yeah,
but
he was did he come into wondrous contact with her in that film? I believe he
well,
did.
he came into contact
I mean, he's...
repeatedly. I'm guessing.
Are you allowed to have sex on Christmas? Like, isn't that against Jesus?
That's like the best gift.
Right.
Okay. I'm not religious, so I have no idea. But I would assume you don't have sex on Christmas.
I mean, fair, because you do have to watch the timing, because you don't want Christmas to come early.
No.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was bad.
Was absolutely.
I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Good night. Cat's
Wait,
gone.
I'll come back.
No Nut November's over. So No Nut November, that's just like for glory, you know? Like, is that what the goal is? Or is it to enjoy like 100 Nut December or whatever it's called?
I feel like there was a different month that was originally they were trying to do this. Doesn't matter. The point is,
Lent. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, if you want to talk about anything, talk about Lent, and then
isn't that 40?
The 40 days, the 40 days thing, right?
That's more than a month.
Right.
Can you imagine
Which is insane.
giving that up for Lent? Sweet mother of mercy.
But can you imagine being the person who's like has so many things going on in their life that's awesome that like nutting is literally on the bottom of the totem pole, so they're like, yeah, I really don't mind giving this up.
Well, that's why they had Mardi Gras, right?
What?
to make sure that you were totally. I mean, because Mardi Gras is on the other side of Lent, right? It's on the.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
It's right before Lent, and so you have Mardi Gras, you have Fat Tuesday, which is hey, get it all out of the way now, and then you have
Tuesday.
And then you have. That's right, and then you have Lent, where it's like, sorry, put the little ash thing on your forehead, and you're done for 40 days.
Did I ever tell you my Ash Wednesday story?
No.
I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
I had no idea what that was. at all. No idea. And so in Canada, you have to do 40 hours of community service to graduate from high school. And I was in my last year of high school, and I was like, shit, I haven't, you know, all of the keeners and the smart kids were like getting their shit way over and done with like 3 years ago. But I didn't, because I was lazy and all I did was play video games and music and eat Cheetos. So,
what's lazy about that? Come on, that's awesome.
Yes, I mean, that's where I
Just
am
letting
now. Anyway.
You can't joke like that because you're actually coughing right now.
That's true. But so this like